Hey guys, and welcome to the 6th edition of WrestleRant. I am your host, Bleacher Report featured columnist, GSM, here today for the Raw review of August 15th, 2011. Show kicked off with WWE COO Triple H kicking off the program, running down the events of SummerSlam. It was short, effective, served its purpose, and hyping the later in the night's main events. John Cena, the whole deal with Kevin Nash. Now he's going to be there, hype the show, get some ratings up. That's good. And we also were treated to Alberto Del Rio, the new WWE champion. I was a little confused as to why we didn't see a celebration from him. Remember when he won back at the Royal Rumble back in January? He held like 2 fiestas on Raw and SmackDown. This time he doesn't hold anything when he finally does win a World Championship. And no Ricardo Rodriguez, which is something I was personally looking for. But generic promo by Del Rio, it served its purpose and by getting heat on him for his match with Rey Mysterio later in the night for the WWE Championship. It was pretty good for the most part, and it helped serve its purpose, as I said. So after that, we had a Falls Count Anywhere match between John Morrison and R-Truth, the culmination of a 5-month rivalry between them since April/March. An awesome match between those two, very solid contest. Both men showed signs of potential, main event talent in them. John Morrison finally fit back after weeks of jobbing to R-Truth. Nice moves all the way around. Love the ending with the knee to the face. Although R-Truth was looking up to be building a solid heel in recent weeks, I don't really think he loses a lot of momentum from this. He can always bounce back as soon as he wants to. But also, love the antics from both of them and hope the best from them. I'm very glad that Morrison picked up his first win in recent weeks. And hopefully this will be the be-all, end-all of the rivalry, and both men can move on to something bigger, hopefully in the United States Championship, knowing them as champions. After that, we had the Miz promo promoting Subway with Jared, which was obviously, in my opinion, the worst segment of the night. I'm not sure why WWE is promoting Subway. You can clearly hear the chants in the background saying Subway sucks from the fans, which I thought was hilarious. Miz promoted the crap out of the Subway, but the Subway sandwich, but was it really needed? It didn't really accomplish anything. It was just used to get Miz in the show, just to promote that loser Jared. It didn't really do anything for me. Hopefully we see more from Miz. He says he wants a spotlight. He's going to really need to show it in coming weeks, and by exhibiting it in matches, especially in the match that he had last week with Kofi Kingston. I mean, he should be building nice matches. I would love to see a match between him and Zack Ryder, help get him over. So hopefully we see that next week from Miz, and hopefully we can just forget this whole thing. After that, we had a Divas Tag Team match between the Divas Champion Kelly and Eve, defeating former rivals, the Bella Twins, Nikki and Brie, sorry. It was an okay match, not a lot of botches. Kelly is kind of shaping up to be a wrestler now after SummerSlam, after better than Divas standard match at SummerSlam this past week. It served its purpose and is helped building towards the eventual culmination with Kelly and Eve facing off against the Divas of Doom, Beth Phoenix and Natalya. And that was accomplished by the end of the match, which I was glad to see Beth Phoenix and Natalya come out and help build towards the eventual match. Hopefully we see a rematch of the pay-per-view, a Night of Champions, with Beth Phoenix taking the title off Kelly. As I've said numerous times before, I do not like Kelly as champion as much as she fits it. As much as she fits it. It might be a bit of 4-way, you never know. Or this could be a good match nonetheless. And up next we had the best segment of the night, in my opinion, CM Punk's segment with Kevin Nash. Now I am not a huge Kevin Nash fan, but I am loving these alumni returns in WWE in recent months. Kevin Nash is just adding to that, adding to bring back the hardcore fans back to liking wrestling. I mean, he was a little rusty on the mic last night, I will admit to that, but CM Punk really brought the best out of him. I was marking out for the mentions of WCW, Indie-rific, which I thought was kind of funny. They both brought out the best in each other, provided some good comedy, developed the storyline, and also helped Kevin Nash get back to the WWE style of doing promos, such and such. And Kevin Nash's promo about the text message, who could have sent it, in my opinion, it could have been Stephanie or Triple H. Obviously, those are two top candidates. I hope WWE throws a swerve in the last second and hopefully it be someone a surprise. Never know. But, good match. I mean, very good segment nonetheless. Very good, and I cannot wait until next week's Raw to see what happens between these two. I wouldn't suggest a match between Nash and Punk, but if they do, I wouldn't mind it. Nash should, he hasn't been in the ring since Bound for Glory last year, so hopefully he still has to go with Punk. I wouldn't doubt it. But hopefully we can see a good culmination between those two come Night of Champions, possibly, maybe a little bit longer after that. After that, we had Jack Swagger face off against Alex Riley in a WWE Superstars rematch. I know most of you do not know what I'm talking about, since most of you probably don't watch WWE Superstars. I don't blame you. But it was a good wrestling match a couple weeks ago. This time around, it was kind of disappointing to see this rematch. They had decent action, but it was all overshadowed by the United States Champion, Dolph Ziggler, and his manager, Vicky Guerrero, at the broadcast table, in addition to the three commentators. So a five-man booth is obviously very confusing, and it was distracting to me. I mean, they didn't really add anything to it. The three tries of the gut-wrench powerbomb by Jack Swagger on Alex Riley was a little awkward finish to the match. I'm glad that Swagger finally picked up his first win in a matter of months, but it was completely overshadowed by the five-man booth. Hopefully we see Jack Swagger be managed by Vicky Guerrero. That would be pretty interesting. Help get Swagger in a storyline, help him get back on Raw. Hopefully we see Riley and Swagger and Ziggler come Night of Champions in a triple threat for the United States Championship. I, for one, think that would be a solid match. Maybe get the title on Jack Swagger. He fits that belt perfectly. I am very confused as to why we haven't seen that belt around Swagger yet in the last couple of months, since he hasn't been appearing on Raw as much as he should be. After that, we had a tag team match between Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne, defeating the WWE Tag Team Champions, David Otunga and Michael McGillicuddy. I mean, I wasn't pissed to see the Tag Team Champions lose because they've been on recent Raw in the last month, but I was kind of impressed, actually. Michael McGillicuddy and David Otunga are improving. I'm very happy to see them using tag team maneuvers, even though I don't like them as much anymore. You've seen that they got rid of Nexus, and they stole Justin Gabriel's theme, for one thing. But, nice match. Nice match. I am loving this team of Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne. I am loving how Triple H is finally putting some thought in the tag team division. Hopefully rumors come to fruition about Beer Money eventually joining. I doubt that, but that's one man's wish. And the Kings of Wrestling from ROH, hopefully they can join as soon as possible and freshen up the tag team division. Or this leads to a rematch and for the tag team championship at Night of Champions. And we can see another awesome title change go to Kofi Kingston and Evan Bourne and finally take the titles off the stale McGillicuddy and Otunga. And in the main event, we had Alberto Del Rio versus Rey Mysterio in a very familiar match for the WWE Championship. Now, it wasn't as great as matches they've had in the past over on SmackDown, but it was a very solid and exciting match. I, for one, thought Rey Mysterio might win the title for 1 second, in that one split second when he almost hit that 619, but then Del Rio countered with a nice schoolboy for the WWE Championship, successful retain. I am very, very, very happy to see Alberto be one of the only WWE heels to win matches clean. That is very unlike the generic heels that we've had as champions, aka Christian and Miz. So you never know. I thought it was a great match. Helps build towards Rey Mysterio's knee injury, which I thought it didn't even look like he had a knee injury in that match. He covered it up very well. Congrats to Rey. I'm starting to like Rey more and more as time goes on. Last year he was dominating talent, with Del Rio being one of them. But this time around, Del Rio is really, this time around, Rey Mysterio is in the twilight of his career, helping putting young talent over. I am very glad to see him helping put his young talent over, including Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Del Rio. So I'm glad for him. Happy to see Del Rio. Happy to see Del Rio as champion, getting over. Rey Mysterio taking some time off that he really needs to get that knee injury. Also, after that, we had John Cena running, obviously. I was very ecstatic. Not to see John Cena, but to see that John Cena was only used once on the broadcast. John Cena is normally in every other segment on Raw, every single week. It makes me sick. when he finally comes out. That's why people boo. This week, people did not boo as much because we only saw John Cena once, and it was a nice surprise to see him there. I mean, I for one am loving that he's going to be in a program with Del Rio. That is something that was long overdue months ago, that we were originally supposed to get SummerSlam, but written off with the CM Punk angle. But I'm glad that we are seeing this, and that Del Rio and Cena can probably deliver a great match. Hopefully it doesn't end with Cena going over at Night of Champions or any time down the line. I would love to see Del Rio retain the title going into TLC, or at least TLC, or maybe into the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. I doubt it, seeing how WWE usually books their heels that they've made over the last couple of years. But you never know. So, but nice promo from John Cena, showed intensity. That is what we need to see from Cena to make this program interesting. They have 5 weeks of building time until Night of Champions, so hopefully we'll build something awesome. Hopefully we see CM Punk get his rematch clause for the WWE Championship as well. Hopefully they don't forget about that, as most things, like the anonymous general manager. So, I thought, in my opinion, in my perspective, I thought it was a pretty good Raw. Very decent to great action all night long. We had storylines furthered, and a nice refreshing break from SummerSlam. And nice championship match to kick it off live from San Diego, California. So that's it for this week's edition of WrestleRant, edition 6. I will be back in a few days to do review for SmackDown, hopefully, or TNA Impact Wrestling. So hopefully you guys can enjoy your week. Nice talking to you guys. And remember, this is Bleacher Report featuring Columnist GSM. Visit my links below, my Bleacher Report link below in the link section. Also follow me on Twitter at save_us_GSM on Twitter, and visit my personal website nexterrawrestling.weebly.com. This is Bleacher Report featuring Columnist GSM, signing out.